I was on eBay the other night and finally found something that was reasonably priced. That's getting rare these days, but someone had a late 60s Panasonic battery-operated portable phonograph with the paperwork. The only catch is they said it didn't work, and it had a buy it now price of $6.99 plus $10 shipping. Well, it looked in good shape, so I jumped on it. Well, you can see they shoved it in a priority mail flat rate box, and judging by what I feel, I don't think they used any packing material. So let's open this up and see if it arrived in one piece or did it get busted all the heck and back. And as you can see, not one bit of packing material. Fortunately, it looks like it survived. We have our Panasonic warranty card here, and they dated it Christmas 1967. This looks like a sheet with all the factory service centers on it. And here's our instruction manual. Now, they said this thing was totally inoperative. They said the battery wires had come loose and they resoldered them and it still won't work. So that means we have some work to do. Okay, I have the DC power supply connected and set for 9 volts. I have our milliamp meter connected so we can see how much current we're drawing. I have the tone arm moved over where the automatic switch will engage. Now let's turn the power on and see what happens. And we're getting a slight bit of current draw, but not much. And there's no action coming from the unit itself. Yeah, we're not even getting enough current draw to even say we're doing anything. I'm on the 2 milliampere scale. Okay, this may be the problem right here. This is the input jack for an optional wall wart power supply. And when a power supply is plugged into this jack, it automatically disconnects the batteries. Hey, you see all that corrosion there from battery leakage a long time ago? Then that's most likely the problem. So we'll just remove that and jump it out temporarily and see what happens. Okay, that was the problem. The power jack was corroded and its internal contacts were not switching the batteries into circuit. After I jumped it out, as you can hear, we have some action. So I'm going to temporarily put it back together and see if we can play a record. Okay, let's just see what happens so we'll kind of know where we need to go from here. Well, the amp and cartridge and needle seem okay, but our drive mechanism is kind of sickly. Okay, we had the platter removed, and that's accomplished by removing the little center clip, just like on any other record player. And notice this platter is made out of metal, it's not plastic. And I think I see the problem, or at least a problem. This idler wheel should be spinning freely, it's not. So that tells me that we've got some dried up grease to deal with. And we'll also want to clean this and put some fresh phono lube on it. Excuse me, non-vaginal phonograph lubricant. Okay, let's see if that helped any. I believe it did.
The party was jumping when Bertha got up a her stump.
Here we are with an LP. working better, but I think it's going to need a new idler wheel down the road because the one that's in there is kind of slick, even after using the rubber revitalizer on it. And you can tell I can just barely put my finger on the platter and it stops. So that tells me that it doesn't have a lot of torque, and that's the reason the speed is still wavering a little bit. Okay, you can see what a corroded mess this jack is, and the chances of me ever using this on AC power are very slim, so therefore I just jumped out the jack for the time being, and if I ever decide to replace the jack, I will one day, but like I said, this will more than likely always be used with batteries, mainly for taking it to the flea market to audition records before I buy them. Okay, we're all put back together, and about the only thing that I'll need to do to this in the near future is have the idler wheel resurfaced, but it'll do for right now. Here we are with a 45, and it's nice that this has an automatic cutoff whenever you return the tone arm to the rest, so it doesn't run the battery down in case you forget to turn the master power switch off. I just have to say one concluding thought about this little record player. Now you're looking at a record player from 1967 that runs off of 6 D-cell batteries, as in 9 volts. And this thing sounds better and has a more powerful amplifier than those little Crosley cruiser players that people pay $100 or $150 for. So, you know, it's really a shame, really, that in today's world they could make a decent record player, but they're not going to because of the bean counters. So, you know, like, just backs up what I've said all along. If you want a quality record player, you're either going to have to get something vintage or up the bucks for a modern-day component turntable setup, and I'm not talking about one from Best Buy. Okay, there you go. Thanks for watching, and more to come later.